You're listening to the Productive Therapist Podcast, the world's greatest and most brilliant resource for busy therapists who'd rather be laying on a beach in Hawaii. Each episode is packed with simple tips and inspiring insights from the Productive Therapist team to help you grow your practice and have fun doing it. So without further ado, let's help you get more done and have more fun.
Are you losing clients because inquiries slip through the cracks? SimpleIntake is an all-in-one mental health CRM. The AI receptionist responds to inquiries in seconds, books consultations 24/7, and keeps your clinicians' calendars full. You can see it in action at productivetherapist.com/SimpleIntake. All right, on to the episode. Hello, and welcome back to the Productive Therapist Podcast. I'm so glad that you're listening today. I hope you're having a good one. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Uriah, and I am a retired marriage and family therapist, longtime group practice owner, and the founder and head nerd here at Productive Therapist. So today I wanted to record a short episode just to kind of tell you about my 2026 tech stack. So anyone who knows me would tell you I'm a gear guy, right? I like a new hobby that requires me to wander through REI or Home Depot, and I love a business project that requires me to buy a new software tool. And that's why they call me the head nerd. So I enjoy talking about things like tech stacks. If you've never heard of that before, it's just the collection of software tools that you use to run your practice. And here's a little bit about mine. So you can kind of compare this to yours and see if you might want to make some changes or just realize that you've got exactly the tools that you need. So the first one, I kind of broke this down into four categories: practice management, team collaboration, phone system, and then intake and marketing. So under practice management for payroll and HR support, I've been using Gusto forever, and I'm actually a huge fan. It's been fantastic working with them. They help me with insurance benefits, HR support, like I said, obviously running payroll for both Intune family counseling and for productive therapists. And it's been especially helpful on the productive therapist side because we employ folks in about 10 different states in the US. So Gusto is awesome. And then for all things accounting, QuickBooks, kind of the standard. And I don't love QuickBooks at all, but I do have a fantastic CPA and a fantastic bookkeeper to kind of manage that for me. And then as far as electronic health record goes, we've been a longtime users of SimplePractice and still think that it's one of the best tools out there. So that's practice management, very important categories there. And then under team collaboration, we're talking about task management, email, team communication, those kinds of things. So for task management, we've used Todoist forever and ever. And my clinical team has never really needed much of a task manager. So I mostly use this myself and with my leaders. Todoist is great. And then everything else is basically handled by Google Workspace. Been using that tool for a long time as well. And more over the last couple of years, we've been using more of the tools that we are paying for. Especially Google Chat has been fantastic because all of the Google Workspace tools are covered under their business associates agreement, so we can collaborate and send PHI back and forth freely. Store things in Google Drive, obviously Google Docs, Google Sheets, etc. So that's been fantastic. And then for the phone system, I just haven't changed this forever. We still use Grasshopper and for phone, fax, and texting. And I was able to get them to sign a BAA, but now in their marketing, they do not advertise themselves as being HIPAA-compliant, so I don't recommend them. There are a lot of good options out there, honestly, too many to even choose from. The ones we recommend the most happen to be Spruce, TalkRoute, and Telzio. Before we continue, I want to tell you about my product, SimpleIntake. As a longtime practice owner, I always had the same problem. Too many inquiries were slipping through the cracks. So I built the solution. SimpleIntake is an all-in-one mental health CRM that actually works. It responds to inquiries in seconds with an AI receptionist, follows up automatically, and schedules consultations 24/7. So your clinicians stay booked, you stop losing new clients, and you finally get your time back. You can see it in action at productivetherapist.com/SimpleIntake. All right, let's get back to the episode. There's other good ones out there as well. Ask a friend, ask a therapist friend. You do want something that is HIPAA compliant, of course, and so those are some good options for you. And as far as intake and marketing goes, honestly, SimpleIntake has made a huge difference for both of my businesses, for marketing, for sales, for operations. And I'm going to give you a little short list of the tools that it has actually replaced. So I used to use WP Forms for web forms. Now I use SimpleIntake. I used to use OnceHub for scheduling consultation calls. Now I use SimpleIntake. I used to use Thrive Apprentice for online courses. Now I use SimpleIntake. I used ActiveCampaign for many years for email marketing, and that was fantastic, but I moved everything over to SimpleIntake, and it's really nice. I used to use Publer, a lesser-known social media scheduling tool, and now I use SimpleIntake. And I don't really have membership communities for Intune Family Counseling, but I have had a couple for Productive Therapist, and I used to use Circle for that, and now I use SimpleIntake. So actually, at the end of the day, I've saved quite a bit of money on monthly subscriptions. Plus, this is one of my favorite things. The integrations that come from having everything in one platform is really a huge bonus. So, and rounding this out nicely, as far as SimpleIntake features go, the AI receptionist and the AI chatbot for super quick responses to new inquiries, honestly, my favorite features. Truly, SimpleIntake is the VIP of my tech stack. And if you want to see it in action, you can check it out at productivetherapist.com/SimpleIntake. So there's a little bit about my tech stack. It's important to have something to run payroll, something to manage your accounting, obviously something to manage all of your clinical work, something to manage your tasks, your email, your phone system, your marketing, etc. So I'll leave you with a little bit of parting advice. I try not to change my tools very often because you can lose a lot of productive time by trying the newest thing, whether it's a task manager or an EHR or being tempted by any of those kinds of shiny objects. I think it's a good idea to find something that works quite well for you. Nothing's perfect, and then stick with it for a while, because once you learn a software tool and once your team learns a software tool, it becomes sort of like second nature, and you don't want to change that unless you have a really compelling reason. So I hope that advice is helpful for you today, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a good one.
That's it for today. Thanks so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and hit the subscribe button to make sure you never miss an episode. If you're looking for more personalized help, you can reach us through productivetherapist.com. Thanks so much for listening. We are Productive Therapist, and this is the podcast that helps therapists get more done and have more fun.